already processed feed, getting the feed from a friend who grows as, you know, not totally organic, but about as close, you know, as he can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when the ducks are only getting a small percentage of what's coming through from that feed, there's so much from all that's really good organic. And then it's being processed through, and you've got the egg.
I feel like whenever we're confronted with pests, you know, that are coming killing our plants, we have to ask why. Instead of how can I kill them, it's like, why are they coming and killing these plants? And it's like, well, maybe these plants aren't congruent with this bio. You know, maybe we're growing these plants in the wrong place. We're trying to force something on nature that it doesn't want. And so the pests are coming to kill the plants because they don't belong there. And I feel like once we bring our population back into balance and we start growing food consciously and congruently with our biomes, instead of trying to take, like, you know, a wheat that grew in the UK many years back and trying to grow it in the middle of Colorado, just off the top of my head, you know, the pests come out and try to kill it. And so they spray out with pesticide, and then it has all these negative effects on the people's health who eat it. And it's like, instead of doing that, let's look at what's already growing in the Colorado plains. How can we mix that with something that grows on a similar latitude somewhere else in the world, and plant them, like, and let them cross-pollinate with each other, and maybe we'll come to a grain cross-pollinated plant that is more congruent and adapted to that place, and then we won't have the pests coming in and trying to kill it. Because the plant has naturally adapted itself to the environment, instead of us trying to adapt it through synthetic means.
There are a lot of people working really hard in those areas right now. And it's nice to know that there are people working with seeds and a whole process of how to grow things organically. Doesn't that feel good?
It does.
Carry that one.
To figure it
There's a
out.
lot of really smart, really passionate people who are working on that.
That's for sure.
In fact, that whole area of permaculture is something that, you know, even though it's just getting going, you know that there are people. You know people. It's really, majority of people, you know, die out, you know, it's just new schools and new ways of thinking and organizing and designing, and permaculture is so much a part of what they're doing. Awareness.
When I eat, I like to imagine, like, where my stomach is and bring my awareness there. And then, like, where my liver is and across my gallbladder and pancreas, and just, like, accumulate all those organs into right about where the diaphragm is, and bring that energy up and through my mouth and my tongue and my nose, and just like keep this circuit going there. So it's like sensory systems of the tongue and smell are engaging the organs of digestion via the neuroendocrine connection. And that just feels like my food's really digesting. I salivate plenty. Feels really great. What state is that? Can't remember what. It's somewhere out past Colorado.
Yeah, like Nevada or something.
Nevada's like that with a. Idaho? No. Oh yeah, no. It's like right over here somewhere. There's Idaho. It's got the long up. It almost looks like Minnesota. Yeah, it looks like Minnesota.
Yeah, there's most like Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have thought it was one of these here, but it's not.
Me too, that's where I
Much where I
thought about it.
it.
That's interesting how we mentally map that similarly, you know? Thinking about where it was, you picked up on that and thought the same place, put it in the same place. I guess that's how the visual cortex maps that, you know? It's like the visual cortex builds this little network of neurons on the back of the head as you're looking down angularly at the map on the page.
Look, Idaho kind of is that shape. So Idaho is this shape.
Yeah, kind of.
And it's got straight like that, and it's this way, and it goes up all this way. That's Idaho.
I always think about Idaho as having that little point at the top, which is really definitive of that little thin
That is, yeah,
funnel.
I didn't realize I had thin.
Mm-hmm.
So thin.
You know, that's interesting. We both related to that image from the same angle. And I imagine we both looked at a map at a semi-downward angle like that. And so it projects to the same part in our visual cortex, whereas if somebody had first related to that map on a wall, they would have mapped it a little bit differently in their visual cortex.
Are we still being recorded?
Well,
You have to
yeah.
check, you'll check with me about some things before you go and post them.
Yeah. Obviously, we've just been talking philosophy and physics this whole time.
Right.
Permaculture.
Right, so there was something I want to start.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have fun with that.